What you think about hockey, no matter what the standings, when the Islanders and Rangers play, there is some strange kind of hockey game in store.
The Stanley Cup semifinals will not be forgotten by the fans here at the Nassau Coliseum, neither by either one of these hockey clubs. This should be a real dandy.
We're expecting a great hockey game, so stand by. Right now, both teams are getting set for the opening face-off, so in just a minute, the game will be underway.
It doesn't happen very often. Only 4 times this year as opposed to 8. But emotions, electricity running sky high.
Well, it's always an extra special game for the fans, for the players also. When you meet the crosstown rivals, there's a lot of prestige and pride involved, and only one team can really rule the roost as far as New York is concerned, and both teams want it very much. Consequently, it's a very high-spirited game each time the Islanders and the New York Rangers get together.
It is a civil war on ice. The New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. Islanders 20-12-2 lifetime against the Rangers. This year, the Rangers come in 7-7-1. They've won 3 of their last 4. The Islanders 5-6-3. They've lost 2 in a row. Islanders skating from right to left. Billy Smith in the nets to our right. The Rangers skating from left to right. Doug Sotart in the goal to our left. From the opening face-off, Bob Lorimer flips the puck into the Rangers zone. It's stopped by defenseman Ron Greshner. Winds it around Anders Kador. Bumped into by the captain, Dave Maloney. They tie it up immediately along the boards. It squirts free, and it's picked up by Bill Lahead. The former Colorado Rocky is jammed hard into the boards along the far side by Lorimer. It's taken by Cutter now. Duguay has words with Howitt in front of the Islander bench, and Lahead falls on top of Cutter, and a hooking penalty is coming up on the Rangers' Bill Lahead. So right off the bat, the Islanders will have the advantage. There's a break of the action with the score. The Islanders nothing, the Rangers nothing.
Well, it's out of the gate for the Islanders. Good hustle by Anders Keller down the right wing. Lahead has no choice but to try and put a rope on him. He hooks him in with the hockey stick. The Islanders with a power play advantage.
Islanders 11 for 55 thus far. On the power play, they have possession. Stephen Pearson over to Brian Trottier out there with Gillies and Bossy. Here's Trottier cutting to his left, away from Warren Miller. Drops it off for Bossy, the left point. He throws it in, stopped by Sotart behind the net. Flipped aside into the left corner by Dave Maloney. The puck comes free to Dennis Potvin, back into the left corner now. And Ron Greshner knocks it around Brian Trottier. Good play by Greshner, who caroms it around, and it's cleared out of there by Eddie Johnstone. Off the near boards and ricochets down into Islander territory. Smitty out of the goal about 15 feet, and he swings it behind the cage into the far corner to Bossy, ahead for Trottier, breaking down ice with Gillies. From right to left come the Islanders. Gillies veers to his left now, comes from the left corner, checked by Greshner. The puck now being pushed along the boards. Trottier in there with Greshner, and Gillies works it free to Trottier. Trottier in behind the net. Trottier watched by Dave Maloney. Trottier takes it into the corner, still with it. Plays it over to Bossy deep in the corner. Centers for Potvin, he shoots, and a great save. Knocked down in front by Sotart. A scramble on the doorstep, and he holds on. Big mess in front of the goal, and Potvin couldn't put it home.
Great pass by Michael Bossy to Dennis Potvin right in the slot, and it's a combination of Clark Gillies trying to screen Sotart, and Sotart moving very quickly to his right to block the shot that caught a little bit of Gillies, hit Sotart, and he smothered it immediately. A fine play by Michael Bossy and Brian Trottier, stringing Dennis Potvin loose.
Sotart, one of the 3 undefeated goalies in the NHL at 4-0-0, 2-2-0 lifetime against the Islanders.
Tough save for him, Steve, with Clark Gillies, big guy right in front of him.
Trottier against Tkachuk. 57 seconds to go on the Lahead penalty. Merwa winds it around for Anders Hedberg. Hedberg with a good play to get out to the red line. Hedberg 2-on-1 now with Tkachuk. Over to Tkachuk, backhander, saved by Smitty as he slides to his left to knock it away. Trottier up ice to Pearson. Pearson dumps it ahead for Trottier. It's poked out of the zone by Merwa. Bounces down to the Islander blue line, and it's gobbled up by Bossy. Big save by Billy Smith just a moment ago. Here's Pearson now. Islanders look keyed up, extremely charged up here as Dennis Potvin behind the net. Checked off the play by Barry Beck out there for the first time. Here's Anders Keller tied up by Mario Merwa. The hitting really gets feverish now as they tie it up against the board.
Well, Two great saves in the hockey game already. Great play by Billy Smith. He had the net covered well as Walter Tkachuk got in on a backhand. Billy covering as much net as he could. He forced Walter Tkachuk to go a little wide, and he couldn't get a good shot away. He had a good angle on him. He was out at the top of the crease. The perfect spot to be on a backhand shot by a fellow like Tkachuk, who is a smart hockey player.
Smith is 8-9 in one lifetime against the Rangers. 2-1-2 in the last 5 outings. From the faceoff, Potvin at the point, a shot that's blocked by Tkachuk, and it's taken back by Anders Kalor, who swings it in behind the net. 10 seconds on the Ranger penalty. Barry Beck hits Billy Harris off the play. It comes squirting loose into the left corner. Marois, who's been out there for a long time, finally dumps it out down into the Islanders zone. The penalty is now over on the head, and he's out of the penalty box. The Rangers have killed off the penalty. Here's Kazuki up to the red line, and he dumps a bouncer in to the right side of Sotart. In after it goes Barry Beck, winds it around for Don Murdoch, and Murdoch back to Marois, back to Murdoch. Murdoch now cuts to his left, crisscrossing with Esposito, puts the puck into the Islanders zone, but lost possession, and the Islanders, or the Rangers, are offside with 17:15 to go in the first period.
Fine play by Bobby Lorimer, Steve, moving out quickly on Murdoch. Murdoch, who handles and shoots the puck so well, come up and made the mistake of trying to cross the blue line instead of going straight ahead. Bobby Lorimer come out angling on him, forcing him to go wide, losing the puck, creating an offside. It's kind of a play that a lot of people don't recognize as a good play, but it is.
Merrick against Esposito, just outside the Islander line. The Rangers swing it in. Here's Lewis behind his own goal. He'll engineer the attack now. Swings it into the far corner for Lorimer. He's tied up. Here's a quick shot by Esposito. Saved by Smith. Espo, the rebounder, went wide. Billy Smith made another good stop. Here's Gabriel back at the point. Sends it cross ice intended for Bothwell. It came out of the zone, and it's picked back up offside against the Rangers.
Well, another miscue. Davy Lewis inadvertently changing his mind when he went to pass the puck. Let the puck go and right to Phil Esposito, who immediately golfed it. Smitty makes a great save. Esposito's second shot was a little weak. It was rolling on the rebound, and he didn't get anything on it. But you can't leave a fellow like Esposito alone in front of the net and then pass him the puck, too.
Espo already has 8 goals and 7 assists. Number 2 all-time scorer behind Gordie Howe in points and goals. Here comes Dave Lewis, who dumps it in. He gets under Sotar's stick into the far corner. Vautour there with Don Maloney. It comes free, and here come the Rangers. Now, Warren Miller taps it out to the red line, and Dave Lewis springs it right back in. It's short hop to the left by Sotart, swings it off to Bothwell. Bothwell is hammered into the boards by Vautour, and Don Maloney dumps it right back to Tonelli, back to Lorimer with a drive that's wide to the left of Sotart. Comes out of the near boards. Lewis keeps it into the left point as Don Murdoch went sailing along the ice, lost his footing, and a battle for it comes loose for Tonelli. He comes in, centers for Vautour. It's stopped in front by the defense, and Bothwell kicked it out of there nicely. Don Maloney then flips it into the left corner of the Islanders zone. Dave Lewis plays it off the near boards to Tonelli. Tonelli uncorks it for Vautour on the right wing, ahead from Merrick. It poke checked away by Gabriel, gathered in by Esposito. Esposito now cuts wide at the red line and flips it in. Lorimer's got it in the Islanders zone over to Lewis. 15:50 to go in the first. Non-stop action, no score. Harris dumps it ahead, too long for Howard. Brester picks it up deep in his own zone. Backhands it around the boards down the head. Pokes it away from Henning. Now he has trouble with Henning, who bottles him up. Howard takes Maloney down. Back to Harris, a shot that's wide, and there was a whistle before the shot, and a penalty is coming up against the Islanders. I believe it's Gary Howard going up. There's a break of the action with the score. Islanders nothing, Rangers nothing.
Well, Lorne Henning fighting in the corner, and Gary Howard anticipating a little bit on the play when after in the corner he pinned Maloney, anticipating the puck going to him, and of course the puck never got to the Ranger, and it's an automatic interference call.
At 4:23, Rangers 5th in power play, 17 for 65, no score, 15.5 to go. Islanders just shoot it down to the Rangers zone. Barry Beck's got it. Beck puts on the brakes for an instant behind his own goal. Marois slips it through for Esposito, couldn't hold on to the pass. Don Maloney shovels it ahead. It was behind Espo, didn't see it. It comes back, though, to Don Maloney, back to Don Murdoch at the point. And in the process, Don was upended by Dennis Putman, and his stick broke right in half. He has to go back to the bench for a new one. And Billy Harris just clears it all the way down to Sotart's stick to the left of the goal. Maloney gets a new stick. Marois up ice for Murdoch at the Ranger line. His pass behind Beck, and a 2-line pass as Don Maloney was on the receiving end, and they'll bring it back for a face-off. So up to this point, the Islanders tying up the Rangers on their power play. Minute 16 to go on the penalty.
Don Maloney took a tremendous body check. Got a big great body check from Dennis Potvin as he crossed the line. Dennis hit him after he passed the puck, and in a sense it's a legal check as long as the other player hasn't received the pass yet. It was very close, so but a great body check by Dennis Potvin.
Dennis Potvin out there with Lorne Henning, Billy Harris, and John Potvin to kill off the penalty. Here's Barry Beck, who swings it into the left corner of the Islanders zone, chasing it down. Dennis Potvin in front of Don Murdoch, and Dennis really looking good as he takes the puck to the far side. He's upended by Don Murdoch, and they tangle up and pin it in.
Well, the Islanders playing with the kind of spirit that they have to play with to win hockey games. The thing that's been lacking most of the time throughout the season so far, Steve, has been that great push and a little bit extra that we see Dennis Potvin giving as he tries to work the puck out. And he did a good job. He didn't get the puck out, we'll say, but he was being hampered all the way through there. He did manage to freeze it, get a face-off, which is just as well. He didn't cough the puck up much of the thing. The Islanders have been giving away those kind of things before, and loose pucks were going to the opposition defense.
50 seconds to go on the penalty to Gary Howitt. No score. 14:25 remaining in the first period. Dennis Potvin uncorks it for Brian Trottier at center ice, crisscrossing with Henning. Nice pass to Henning. Henning drops it back for Trottier. It's poked away by Gressner. Recaptured by Trottier over to Henning in the slot. He shoots. It's blocked. It went right off the skate of Josh Gabremont. Comes back into the left corner. Henning pries it loose for Trottier, and intercepting it was Anders Hedberg. 27 seconds to go on the penalty. Hedberg is submarined by Trottier, and the Islanders are really hitting. It's poked over to Henning, who flips the puck over to the blue line. Dennis Potvin is knocked from behind by Hedberg, and then Tkachuk barrels into the boards with Trottier. It comes free for Gressner. In front, alone Vickers. He shoots, and he didn't get a good shot off. It went wide. He was bottled up by the goalie, Billy Smith. 6 seconds to go on the penalty to Howard. The Islanders clear it down the ice. Showtime stopped for Gabremont. 2 seconds. 1 second. Gary Howard is out of the penalty box. Now, here comes Hedberg. Slips it through for Tkachuk. Tkachuk is taken out of the play by Lormer, but he still managed to poke it into the corner. Lewis brings it loose to Kazicki on the left wing. Cuts to his right and across the attacking line. He's got Cotto bursting in. He's got Howard bursting in, and the pass got messed up somehow, went into the far corner, and then Howard swung back, knocked it over to Tonelli, or rather Kazicki, into the left corner for Gressner, dumps it into the far corner. Feverish action, just non-stop, and it comes out to the red line. Lewis pokes it over to Collor, dumps it in to the Ranger zone, and Gressner pokes it up into the Ranger bench. Finally, a whistle.
Islanders playing the body, Steve, the thing that generates their kind of game, and putting a lot of pressure on the Rangers time to time. And here we are with number 8, Steve Vickers, all alone, and Dennis and John letting him sneak in behind them, and Hedberg making a fine pass to him. Billy Smith making a tremendous save, left all alone with him, and 3 great saves Billy Smith made.
So it'll be Ron Duguay facing off against Mike Kazicki just inside the Ranger blue line. Kazicki has Collar on the right, Howard on the left. Langevin and Pearson are back. Beck and Marois are back for the Rangers. Murdoch, Johnstone, and Duguay up front. Now Pearson throwing it into the near corner in the Ranger zone. It's picked up by Warren Miller. Miller, number 24, trying to get around Gary Howitt. Miller still with it, right near the Ranger bench. Back to Barry Beck, and Beck with a giveaway to Dave Langevin at the Islander line. Here's Pearson. Pearson up to the red line. Cuts to his left and dumps it right into the stomach of Barry Beck. He was caught in his sweater for a moment, then he unraveled it. Here he comes to the red line, and he throws it in. It's stopped by Billy Smith behind the net. Here's Dave Langevin picking it up, throws it around Johnstone, intended for Pearson. Duguay got it back to the point to Beck with a shot that's deflected by Mike Kazicki, and out comes Gary Howitt. Howitt up to the red line. Ahead for Kazicki, who went off the blade of his stick into the right corner. It's chased down by Marois, and Marois throws it right over the head of Mike Kazicki. Out it comes to Johnstone, who throws it ahead too long for Duguay. Good pass from Pearson to Kazicki. Kazicki spun off the play by Marois. Barry Beck winds it around for Johnstone. The Islanders make a change. Ahead it goes for Duguay. Duguay across the red line. Duguay across the line. He shoots. Save. Glove save. Shoulder high by Smith. He goes down to his knees to cover up. There's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders nothing and the Rangers nothing.
Well, I've been watching Barry Beck, Steve, and so far he hasn't showed me much but a lot of stick work. We'll have to see a little more of him.
The voice of Section 336, the hockey maven Stan Fischler, off to our right with that comment. Here's Dennis Potvin at the red line. He flips it into the far corner, and confrontation between Bossy and Don Maloney as both of them collided, fell down. No call. Here's Bossy on a steal from the slot. A shot that's deflected. Knocked down by the defense, and the fans yelling for a penalty against the Rangers. Here comes Dave Maloney ahead for Esposito. The puck came off his stick, poked away by Smith, and then it winds up in the near corner. Esposito with Dennis Potvin. Dennis cuts in front of Espo and flips it ahead too long for Gillies, and it's taken by Greshner at center ice to the captain, Dave Maloney, number 26, and he dumps it into the left corner now off Billy Smith's stick. Smith way out of the goal. He leaves it for Gillies. Gillies pounds it off the backboard. Intercepted by Don Maloney. Centering pass. Dennis Potvin intercepted. Right wing to Mike Bossy. Left wing for Trottier. It's behind him. It skips away, poked out by Gabriel out of the red line. Dennis Potvin on a weave with John Tonelli. Espo takes it away from Potvin. Mike Bossy, a backhander ahead, and it's picked up by Gabriel, who dumps to Dave Maloney in the Rangers' zone. Returns to Gabriel. Jocelyn Gabriel cuts left to elude Brian Trottier, and from the red line, he guns it in. Caroms off the boards for Smith. Stops for the Islander captain, Dennis Potvin. 10:25 to go in the first with no score. Here's a good crisp pass to Tonelli. He's got Harris flying in on the right side. He finds Billy Harris. Harris now with a drop to Tonelli. It's poked away by Gabriel. Gabriel gets it off to Steve Vickers on the far side, and Vickers swings it a roller down to the Islander blue line. Now Bob Lorimer being covered by Anders Hedberg in front of the Islander bench. Taken away by Vickers. He comes in. He shoots. He scores!
Well, you can't lose the puck in your own end of the ice, Steve, and that's exactly what happened. Carried the puck. Bobby took it back into his own end of the ice. When he looked up to find somebody, he was checked. In comes Steve Vickers and left all alone again. You can't consistently leave guys going in on the goaltender all alone and expect him to do it. Bobby Lorimer losing the puck after taking it back into his own zone. That's a no-no right off the bat. He shouldn't have done that. He should have dumped it ahead.
Ironically, it was Vickers moments ago who was unmolested in front of the goal from point blank. He was unable to put it home, and now he does a few minutes later. And the big guy in that play was Anders Hedberg, who took it away from Bob Lorimer. 1-0 Rangers, 9:56, an unassisted goal for Steve Vickers. Islanders shovel it in. Tapped away by Vickers to Beck. Beck flips the puck to the red line. It's fielded to the ice by Lewis. It's scrambled up into the air, and Hedberg almost stole it, and he would have been in scot-free. Here's Tonelli. Throws it over to Lewis at the left point now. Lewis takes it into the left corner, being covered well by Mario Marois. Behind the net for Harris. Harris looking around. Throws it in front. Oh, he went in. He stuffed it in. So hard and just went over the line. It's 1-1.
There was no red light on the play, Steve, but the puck has gone in. Davy Lewis carried the puck in along the boards to the left corner. Saw Billy Harris behind the net. Made a fine pass. Billy stopped it with his skate, pulled it to the side, flipped it out in front. It hit back, it hit Sotar, it hit the post, and then it went in the net. Good break for the Islanders on some good forechecking by a defenseman. And actually, he carried it in and continued to keep going. And Davy Lewis showing some offensive threat. Each time he does it, he seems to make things happen. So the defenseman again coming up as they did early in the season in the first 2 or 3 games.
So we're tied at 1-1. 2 goals within 42 seconds of this, the first period. Islanders shoot it in. Sotart makes the stop. It's stolen away by Kosicki from the side, and then it was knocked out of there by the Rangers. Now a collision at the blue line between Langevin and Ray Markham. They both get up, and they're okay. Bill ahead. Markham just up from New Haven, and he's got the puck on the near side at the red line, and it's going to be a pass over 2 lines, so they'll bring it back. 8:52 to go in a very exciting first period, tied at 1.
Well, Davy Langevin hit Ray Markham up from the New Haven team, the farm team of the New York Rangers, hit him a solid blow. Davy looks a little awkward when he hits players, but he certainly hits them hard. His timing isn't exactly the way I'm sure he'd want it to be. It's something he'll have to work on. Someone like Dennis Potvin is going to help him a lot with his timing on hitting because he knows how to do it. He just gets himself a little bit off balance when he goes to hit.
We'll recap the goals when we have the moment. Here is Ron Duguay. Feeds it over on the far side to Dave Maloney. Maloney trying to take it in. Runs into some trouble. Kalor steals over to Howitt. Howitt cuts around Ray Markham, but then he lost possession. He coughed it up to Greshner. Greshner being chased by Howitt in that Ranger zone. He runs into all kinds of difficulty. It's taken away by Collar in front of the Ranger bench. Collar battles with the head, finally clears it out to the neutral zone. And Dave Langevin, back it goes to Pearson. Kazicki throws it away from Lahead. Nice play, and then the puck just sits there. Langevin feeds Kazicki, who dumps it into the left. It's Sotard into the far corner. Dave Maloney chasing it down. Over to Ron Greshner. Off ice for Ron Duguay. Right wing for Markham. Markham sidesteps Gillies, and he lost his balance at the last moment. Stolen by Collar, recaptured by Duguay of the Rangers. He's run into by Collar. Maintains his balance, though. Trottier comes out of the pack. Cuts to his left. Trying to get around Greshner. Then he holds up for the moment. Feeds Gillies. Gillies with some nifty skate work. Comes into the left corner. Don Maloney takes it away. We are seeing some dazzling skating as Tim Bothwell is hammered off the play by Bossy, who then took a run at Don Maloney. The Islanders are hitting. Now here's Don Murdoch on the near side. Murdoch comes out of the zone ahead for Esposito. Taken away by Potvin. Jean Potvin's got it. Taps it through away from Don Maloney to the red line for Gillies. Gillies having trouble with Gavrima, who took it away. Flips it ahead for Don Maloney in the Islander zone. On the near side for Esposito. Backhands it right off the side of the goal. Into the far corner, Trottier. Trottier works it free, and it comes bouncing into the left corner. 7:04 to go in the first. 1-1 the tie. Jean Potvin around for Mike Bossy on the right side. Up ice to Trottier. Returns to Bossy. Bossy tripped up by Don Maloney, and there is no call by Newell. Here's Dennis Potvin. Cuts to his left into the Ranger zone. He's got a free Trottier. He shoots. He scores! It's 2-1 Islanders.
All right. I couldn't figure out what Sotar was doing so far to his right, though, Steve. Give Ryan Partey 2 or 3 inches. He'll put it in. Michael Bossy really interfered and upset by number 12, Don Maloney, but Dennis Potvin picks it up from there, makes a fine move inside the blue line, finds Brian on the left side, cruising in right off the face-off, Dottie put it inside the post by a good foot. Sotar was too far to his right when he came out for the angle. He must have lost his bearings a little bit. Fine goal by Brian Trottier. Good team effort by the Islanders.
Brian Trottier, who scored 5 goals and 3 assists against the Rangers on December 23rd of last year, when the Islanders won by the score of 9-4 over the Rangers, scores his 10th of the year here. Here they come again. Bossy drops for Trottier into the Ranger zone. Watched by Beck. Pulls on the brakes. Goes over to Potvin. He shoots. Saved by Sotar. Whacks it up into the air. Taken, though, by Barry Beck. Close call as Dennis Potvin almost hammered it home. Islanders up by the score of 2-1, and the goals coming in clusters here in the first period. Billy Smith winds it off the glass into the left corner, and you can hear the crowd. Here's Mike Bossy. Pounds it off the boards, and Esposito takes it at center ice. It is Trottier from Potvin at 13-11 to put the Islanders up by a goal. Here's Brian Trottier racing up to the red line with Espo, and he just guns it in to allow a line change.
They're a tired line, Steve. They're trying to get off. They've done a lot of work since they've been out there for the last 2 minutes.
And now a fresh line is out there. Wayne Merrick and company with John Tonelli and Billy Harris, and they immediately start to pound bodies as they come over the boards. It's kicked away by Harris. Harris over to Tonelli, but a good defensive play by Dave Mario Marois to knock it free. Lewis now throws a soft shot in front. It's sticked aside by Sotar. Now here's Barry Beck spun around by Wayne Merrick behind the net for Billy Harris, trying to stuff it again. This time Sotar equal to the task. Harris gets it again. Centers it, picked up by Beck. Harris playing a whale of a first period here, all over the place, and Dave Lewis dumps it back into the Ranger zone. Mario Marois is back to get it. He caroms it around the boards on the far side for Vickers, who has the lone Ranger goal. Kachuk to Vickers at center ice. Vickers on the near side to Anders Hedberg. He's rammed off the play by Lewis. It comes behind the Islander net for Bob Lorimer. He sends it over to Billy Harris. Dave Newell, the referee, gets in the way. Up to the red line, looking for Merrick, but it's stolen away by Greshner, who wraps it back into the Islander zone. 4:55 to go in the first. 2-1 Islanders. Here's Billy Harris, cross ice for John Tonelli. Tonelli now on the near side of the red line, bumps it to Kachuk, and the puck winds up at Greshner's stick in the Ranger zone. Greshner over to Dave Maloney. Maloney brings it up to the red line, and he snaps it into the left corner. It ricochets off the boards. A hustling Anders Hedberg get after, but Lewis gets to it first. Hedberg takes Lewis hard into the boards. Here's Tonelli. The hitting is massive from both sides right now. On the far side, Eddie Johnstone takes Harrison to the boards. Ron Duguay slips away from Bob Lorimer. A good feed for Greshner. Greshner in across the line. He winds. He shoots way off the mark to the right of Smith. And it's Warren Miller bursting in to get the rebound. Miller comes in behind the net. He's got Johnstone hammered by Lewis in the face. Here's Greshner at the near point. He throws it right into the slot. Duguay is tied up by Kazicki. And the puck comes back to the point to Greshner. He whirls, fires Duguay. He shoots. Save! And Billy Smith holds on. Oh, what action! 4:04 to go, and tempers are clearing. Billy Smith fires the glove up. He fires the mask off, and the fans are up. Eddie Johnstone and Gary Howard are having words now. Up to the side of the Islander goal. And there's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 2, the Rangers 1.
Billy Smith, 2 minutes for slashing.
Well, Billy Smith makes a fine save off of Ron Duguay, who teed it up. It was up high where he likes it. He got a hold of it. Eddie Johnstone in from the right side to challenge Smitty for a rebound. Smitty took offense to it, of course, warned him off with his stick up a little high, and that started a little bit of a fracas that never really amounted. Johnstone, I guess, said something to Billy about going at it, and Billy off with the gloves, mask, helmet, everything, and said, let's go to it. Nothing happened.
This is Billy Smith's kind of game.
Well, Billy got a penalty, I understand, for slashing. I didn't see that, but...
He flourishes in these emotional situations, and he is off for slashing. It'll be served by Kazicki at 15:56. Power play for the Rangers, trying to tie it up. It's 2 on Islanders. Barry Beck dumps it in. It gets beyond the reach of Don Maloney. Picked up by Don Murdoch on the left side, looking for Esposito. Taken away by Gary Howitt. And now Gary Howitt dumps it down into the Ranger zone. Sotart puts the clamps on it for Greshner. 20 seconds have gone by on the Smith penalty. And this is Greshner feeding it over to Barry Beck on the far side. And it's stolen away by Dennis Potvin. He finds Howitt coming in across the Ranger line. And Howitt just throws it in. Taken by Beck behind the goal. Beck ahead for Don Maloney on the far side at the red line. He cuts to his right and backhands it into the left corner in the Ranger zone. Taken by Potvin. He rams the puck. Kept it nicely by Greshner at the point. To Esposito in the face-off circle. In the corner now to Don Maloney in front. He shoots. Save. Knocked down in front by Potvin. Another shot. Don Maloney with some great second effort. And it's a 2-2 hockey game. The Islanders now giving up a power play goal.
Esposito, of course, handled the puck so well. He got it over in the corner, and John Potvin didn't leave quick enough to come out in front. As Vickers come out in front of it, Don Maloney, came out, took a shot, got his own rebound, put it on the ice with Billy Smith down from the original save. John waited a little too long. He should have gone to Maloney as soon as he started for the front of the net. Gave him a chance to get out in front of the net and take a shot and get his own rebound, sliding it along the ice on the rebound to the left of Billy Smith.
Well, we have seen some great games between these two teams in the past few years, but this has all the earmarks of a classic showdown. It's now 2-2.
Both teams trying to get on a winning streak of some sort. The Rangers not bad in their last 4, but the Islanders have suffered a little more. But neither team has been that outstanding this season so far.
The goals are coming so frequently, it's hard to recap them. We'll try to. Here's Brian Trottier in the Ranger zone to Lewis. Cross ice to Larimer. He winds. He shoots. Knocked down in front by the goalie, Sotart, and he covers up. There's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 2 and the Rangers 2. Face off to the left side of Sotart. A tie game, 2-2, 2:52 to go in the first period. Larimer with a shot from the right point, knocked out in front, and Boschy keeps it alive. Backhanding it behind the net. Beck is battling with Trottier. Now Beck is hit by Gillies. Kicked out of there by Larimer over to Gillies. Gillies has Trottier in front. Didn't have an angle on it. He's still got possession over to Gillies. He shot it wide. Newell's got the right hand up. Penalty coming up against the Rangers, I believe. And there's the whistle as Smith left the premises. A penalty is coming up against the Rangers, and going off will be Ray Markham. There's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 2 and the Rangers 2. Markham for cross-checking at 17:29. Islanders have the power play. Here's Pearson winning the face-off in the Rangers zone. Back to Dennis Potvin. And Potvin just dumps it in. Gillies being played by Merwatt comes loose for Fossey. Fossey and Beck together in the far corner. They both go hurling into the boards, and it's taken and cleared by Tkachuk down into the Islander zone. Smith stopping for Dennis Potvin. A minute 35 to go on the Markham penalty on the Rangers. Dennis Potvin now whirling down ice and across the Ranger line. Dumps it over to Trottier. Back to Potvin. Intercepted by Warren Miller, and he flips it out to the red line. Pearson to Dennis Potvin now as they cruise back into their own zone. A feed for Bossy. Bossy at the red line, rifles the puck in. It bounces into the left corner. In pursuit is Miroir, and he golfs the puck, but not out. Kept in by Potvin to Bossy, top of the circle. Cuts to his right, now to his left. The Gillies swings it in front. Sliding stop, I believe, by Bothwell at the side. Or is that's Barry Beck who's on top of the puck, and they will have a face-off.
Fine defensive play by Barry Beck. Clark Gillies taking a pass from Michael Bossy, comes in from the side of the net. Brian Trottier at that point is all alone in front of the net. Beck decides to slide in on Gillies coming out of the corner, and Clark let the puck go a little too late to get it to Brian Trottier standing alone in front, and Beck covers up on the puck to stop the play.
Quick recap. Vickers unassisted at 9:56. Harris from Lewis and Tonelli at 10:38. Trottier from Potvin. Dennis at 13:11. And Don Maloney from Espo and Gressner at 16:49. A minute 9 to go on the Markham penalty. Face off to the right of Sotart. Kazicki facing off against Kachuk. Gressner has it, and he powers the puck around Pearson all the way down into the Islanders' zone. Billy Smith way out in the far corner, knocking it away from Hedberg. Billy Harris now works it free, and Pearson back for it. 50 seconds to go on the Markham penalty. Islander power play trying to recapture the lead here, tied at 2. Anders Keller streaking down the left side, throws it right in front. Harris shoots. Made a dazzling save. Oh, brother, was that a close call?
Sodart had to be very quick on that one. Puck came off the boards, funny on him when Anders Keller shot it into the corner of the rink. It came out, hit the net in his foot. Billy Harris coming in for the rebound, got a great shot away that Stoddart made a great save on. He just got his glove hand on it at the last second. The puck dropped down towards the goal line. He smothered it up. Billy Harris shot the puck immediately, which is the right thing. If it had been a little bit lower or a little bit higher, it was in the net. He had all the net on the left side to shoot at, and it went right at Sotart Glove, who came out very quickly, and he made a very alert play on it. A good save by Sotart.
A scintillating save. Eddie Johnston with a beautiful poke check. Gets around Kohler. He's coming in. And poking it away is Billy Smith with Dennis Potvin riding Johnstone on his back. And the puck is cleared back to the red line. What a beautiful bit of stick work by Eddie Johnstone, but he was stopped at the last moment. Here's Kazicki back into the Rangers zone. It hits a skate, comes back out, and it's cleared. Cleared by Warren Miller down into the left corner in the Islander zone. Smith lost his stick momentarily, recovers it, and here's Pearson. 38 seconds to go in the first, 5 seconds on the Markham penalty, 2-2 tie. And here's Billy Harris racing up to the red line with the puck. He's got Kazicki on the right, Tonelli on the left. The penalty on Markham is over. Rangers back at full strength. Miller on a steal. He's got Markham on the left side, who just came out of the box. Miller sidesteps a check from Lewis, throws one in softly to the left, tapped away by Billy Smith. And it's picked up by Tonelli with 15 seconds to go in the period. Tonelli now head faking over to Lewis, returns to John. Tonelli barreling down the ice and across the Ranger line, losing on a poke check by Miroir, and it's cleared back down to the Islander zone with 5 seconds left in the period. Gormer with a quick check over his shoulder at the scoreboard to look at the time clock as the buzzer sounds. So, most exciting first period of hockey here at the Coliseum, and the score after 1. As Stan Fischler will be back to recap it. The Islanders 2 and the Rangers 2. Ready to go, second period. Rangers from right to left, Islanders from left to right. Billy Smith to our left, Doug Sotard to our right, tied at 2. Dave Newell drops the puck. Here we go again. Here's Dave Maloney, who dumps it over to the red line. Both teams at full and equal strength. Bob Lormer now has it in his own zone, flips it over to Kazicki on the near side of Collor. Collor, Kazicki, and Howitt. Starting off the second period, a soft shot bounced off the stick of Sotart behind the net for Dave Maloney. The young Ranger captain swings it over to Ron Grester. Down it comes down the far side, and Markham dumps it into the left corner in the Islander zone. Chased down there by Lahead. Lahead is taken out of the play by Collor, and they pin it in for a faceoff. 30 seconds gone by, and it's going to be awfully tough to equal the drama and excitement of that first period.
Well, there isn't any two teams in hockey or anywhere that could keep up that tempo of hockey for 3 periods, Steve. It's no one was going to give in to the other one throughout that first period. I think now you'll find them start to settle into good hard hockey, but certainly not at that pace.
It was almost as if Sylvester Stallone had choreographed that first period like Rocky. Kazicki against Johnstone to the right of Billy Smith. It's taken by the Islanders' Davy Lewis. And Lewis up ice for Gary Howard on the left wing from the red line. He dumps it into the left corner. It ricochets off the boards. It's chased down by Maloney. Whacks it off the boards. Kept in by Lormer. Throws it in. And Sotard sticks it away. Here's Dave Maloney, who's pounded by Collar over to Grester. He's pounded by Howard. The puck comes loose. Back to Howard, top of the circle. Lormer gets into position at the point. Getting away from the head. Throws it in. It's knocked away by Maloney. And Dave Maloney knocks it back to the red line. It's chased down by Lewis. Back in his own zone at the Islander blue line. Lewis being chased by Eddie Johnstone, who made a beautiful stick check and a steal back in the first period, but could not capitalize as he was taken out at the last moment. Now here's Ron Greshner. Feeds it over to Dave Maloney on the near side. He cuts to his right. Gets in across the Islander blue line. Back it goes now for a shot by Hedberg. That's off the mark. Comes around, and it's taken by Collar in the left corner. Anders Hedberg. Pal Oak Nielsen out with the flu. Carol Vedney out. Dean Telefus out. And John Davidson is out of action. Barry Beck's got the puck in his own zone. He feeds it over to Ron Greshner. Opening minutes of the second, tied at 2. Greshner across the red line. He's across the blue line. Nice move around a spinning Dave Lewis, but the Islanders back tap it out of the zone. Kazicki just beyond the reach of pass for Collar. Collar going after it. Beck there first. Beck and Collar go into the boards. Comes around to the near side for Vickers. It's kept in, though, by Wayne Merrick, and it's recaptured by Vickers. Vickers up to the red line now. He comes in across the Islander line. He's checked by Jean Potvin. Drops it, though, for Kachuk. Centers for Hedberg. A shot, stick save by Billy Smith down to his knees to poke it away. Back to the Islanders, led by Potvin. He slides it down to Merrick into the Rangers zone. Skids to a stop. Fans on a pass. Here comes Hedberg back the other way from right to left. And across the Islander line. Sidesteps a check. 1-on-4, but just lost it at the last moment to Dennis Potvin. Potvin in front of his net. He's tripped by Kachuk, and a penalty's coming up on Walter Kachuk. Walter Kachuk will go off for tripping. There's a break of the action with the score. Islanders 2 and the Rangers 2.
Standing still and trying to check Dennis Potvin is not easy to do, and Steve Vickers comes out to check him. Going straight at Dennis is almost impossible to check him cleanly. He stuck his foot out, tripped Dennis as he came out from beside the net. The Islanders have a power play advantage at 17-32.
Kachuk for tripping at 2:22 from the faceoff. Play in the Ranger zone. It's Dennis Potvin at the far point here. Point to Pearson. Into the slot to Trottier, trying to kick it over to Bossy, who's bottled up, though, by Marois. Pearson gets it back into the left corner to Bossy. Bossy looking in front for Trottier. Knocked away by Marois. Recaptured by Bossy. Over to Trottier in front. He shoots. He scores! And the Islanders take a 3-2 lead as Brian Trottier scores a power play goal, his second of the game.
Fine move by Brian Trottier. Pulls the puck around Johnstone, and in the same motion shoots it at the net. As Dave Maloney came out to check him, Brian made no motion to hang on the puck and do anything other than pull it around Johnstone and shoot the puck right away, right on the ice to the right side of Sotard, right on the ice, and it was inside the post on the stick side, which is always a dangerous place when you're shooting the puck. The best place to score is on the ice on the stick side. Good play by Brian Trottier.
And I made reference to it before that Trottier had 8 points on December 23rd in the 9-4 win over the Rangers last year. He scored 6 points in the second period of that game, which was a new NHL record. He scores his second of the game here in the second period as the puck off the faceoff is tied up.
Steve is to shoot the puck the way Brian did. He pulled the puck around Johnstone and then also around Maloney. And a lot of players in that position would have to kind of tee it up or set themselves with their feet and time it with their feet and their hands. But Brian Trottier, with the great hands that he has and the great strength, just shot it all in one motion. And Sotard really, even in good position, had no chance on it.
That's his 4th power play goal. His 11th overall from Bossy and Pearson at 2:50. Islanders have a 3-2 lead. Puck sits in the middle now, and Henning wraps it off the far boards to Lewis. He spanks it into the Rangers zone. Sotard stopping it now for Barry Beck. Beck confronted by Ivan Votor. Beck with a long rink wide pass now to Ray Markham. Big Ray Markham up ahead for Ron Duguay. Back to Markham. The pass is errant, and it's picked up by Lewis. Lewis up to the red line. Lewis picking up speed, looking for Henning, and it's poked away by Miroir. Taken by Markham. Ray Markham will go 6'3", 220. He's just 21 from Windsor. And now Mario Miroir hammers the puck in off the glass. It gets tied up along the netting behind the Islander goal. Yeah, they'll stop the play for a face-off in Islander territory early in the second period.
One of the things that goaltenders are always wary of is shots like that going in. A player shoots the puck in. He shoots it in hard on the glass, and sometimes the glass is a little uneven. It doesn't come together square, and the puck, as it rides around on it, will hit the edge and bounce straight out in front of the net. We see that quite often, and particularly here, it happens more than anywhere. And a guy like Billy Smith is always facing that puck everywhere it goes as it goes around the glass, knowing that it can happen.
Well, we saw something like that in the first period when it bounced in front for Billy Harris, and Sotart made a great save. 16:11 on the clock of the second. 3-2 Islanders. Esposito to face off against Trottier just outside the Islander line. And it's lofted into the Islander zone by Tim Bothwell. Dennis Potvin threads the needle of the red line of Bossy. Bothwell is back and makes a nice poke check to knock it away. There was a beautiful pass from Dennis Potvin to Mike Bossy. That's got to be something they work on as it comes in the left corner now in the Rangers zone. Back to Potvin. John shoots, and it's wide. Back it goes to Dennis. Dennis has it intercepted by Jocelyn Gabriel. A long feed intended for Don Maloney. It's way off the mark. Jean Potvin back to get it, and it's going to be icing against the Rangers.
Great timing. To make a play like that, Steve, it takes perfect timing, and Michael Bossy cutting right across the red line. Onside, Dennis steps out from behind the net, passes the puck immediately. Michael took the pass, started towards the Ranger end of the ice, and as he crossed over the Rangers' blue line, he looked back for Brian. Bothwell was right after him, and he was actually behind him, but he knew that if he could get the puck to Brian, he was all alone. When he looked for Dennis, or for Brian, after he got the pass from Dennis, when he looked back, Bothwell tipped the puck just at that split second, and the puck slid into the corner. A good play by Bothwell, but a beautifully timed pass by Dennis to Michael Bossy. A well-planned play.
So Tkachuk and Merrick will face off to the right of Sotart. 3-2 Islanders, 15:40 to go in the second. Back to Lewis at the point. A hard shot and a stick save by Sotart. Good low shot by Dave Lewis, and Sotart made the save. Tonelli barrels into Tkachuk. The puck comes free, and Ron Greshner falls down. Fans yelling for a penalty against Merrick, but no call. Merrick all over Greshner, and Bob Lormer back in the Islander zone. Guns it down into the Rangers zone. Knocked aside by Sotart for Greshner, who's being chased by Merrick. Greshner, though, whacks it ahead for Vickers. Vickers with a nice move onto the far side now for Hedberg. He gets away from Lewis. Rams into that far corner now. He sends Lormer skidding to the ice with a nice shoulder check. The puck being battled for behind the goal. It comes away for Lormer. He's tipped up from behind by Tkachuk, and a penalty is coming up. Newell's got the hand up with the late penalty against the Rangers. Billy Smith leaves the ice for a sixth attacker. The penalty coming up on Tkachuk. Here's Lormer behind his own goal over to Billy Harris. Springs it loose for Tonelli. Gets it nicely for Lewis, and ahead for Merrick with the pass. Was just under lead for Dave Maloney. If that pass had connected with Merrick, he would have been in scot-free on Doug Sotart. But the whistle for a penalty. So it's hooking on Tkachuk at 5:18. He had just been in the penalty box a few minutes ago. Another power play for the Islanders. They capitalized at 2:50 of this second period in the power play. We'll see what happens here. Here's Dennis Potvin now racing away from Warren Miller. Throws it on the far side of Trottier. Back to Potvin. He shoots. With Gillies on the near side. He couldn't get the shot out. Here's Gillies in front for Bossy. He shoots. He scores!
And there's a pass to Michael in his favorite position, and now on the ice again on the right side, which is the stick side of Sostar, in the corner of the net. Great passing play. Trottier to Potvin, almost in by Gillies. Great offensive play by Stephen Pearson, keeping the puck in, and that really was the key. Stephen moved up very quickly and kept that puck from getting out.
So Mike Bossy, with his 10th of the year, the Islanders score their second power play goal. Here, barreling in. individual effort by Mike Bussey to keep that play alive, and Dennis Potvin will probably get the goal. Here they come again. Tremendous surge by the Islanders, who have taken a 3-goal lead. Gillies trying to throw it back to the point. It's taken away by Beck. Behind the net for Marois. It is Dennis Potvin scoring his first goal of the year. And John Potvin back in his own zone. It's going to be icing on the Rangers, so they'll bring it back.
Brian Trottier, great effort on his part, Steve, bringing the puck up over the blue line, and to hold Barry Beck off with one arm only tells you one thing about Brian Trottier that we've said many times before, the fact that he is tremendously strong in all parts of his body, but he's got great balance. He took the puck with one hand and flipped it back to Michael. Michael had a little trouble hanging onto it, and then he actually just, in trying to shoot the puck, he quickly backhanded it. Then he decided he couldn't shoot it. He was away from the net, off balance. And Dennis Potvin, who was storming in there, just got a puck and let it go. It hit Maloney on the skate, went into the net. But it was tremendous effort on all of Islanders. They were determined they were going to get another one, it looked like.
It seems like when the Islanders come back, particularly here at home, the other night against Philadelphia, although they ultimately lost 5-2, when they came back to beat Chicago, they were down 4-2 and won 6-4. They scored all their goals in clusters. They scored within 12 seconds just now. Bussey and Dennis Potvin. And they do it. Boy, they do it in droves.
Well, they have been inconsistent all year, and the most consistent game they played was against Los Angeles Kings when they played 3 good periods, and they played very well so far tonight.
13:40 to go in the second. The Islanders have a 5-2 lead suddenly and dramatically. From the faceoff, here is Markham, who flips it up to the red line. He dumps it in behind the net for Billy Smith. Back to get it, Dave Langevin away from Ron Duguay. Dumps it to the left corner. It comes free for Kazicki. Kazicki now surging up to the red line on the near side. Pearson is busting through, and a sliding stop by Dave Maloney to knock him off the play. Back into the near corner now. Howard bumps with Maloney. Kazicki all fired up with Duguay draped all over his back. Bill ahead now. And Gary Howard. Howard is jammed into the boards by Dave Maloney, and they are involved and finally break it up to the red line. Come the Rangers. Drescher fires it in. Nice hip check by Langevin on Markham on the far side. Behind the net, Pearson. Pearson in the far corner for Connor. A lead pass for Kazicki is overled. And then Dave Maloney back to Duguay. Intended it for Duguay. It comes to the red line again for Drescher spinning around. He's pumped off the play by Connor, but the Rangers maintain possession. Here's Ron Duguay at the red line. Duguay looking for an opening. Cuts in across the blue line. Has it taken away as the Islanders just set up a wall at the blue line. Here comes a burst of speed by Merrick. But he shoots it.
Steve, I tell you, on the right side, low on Sotar. They must have scouted him and found out something, but he didn't have really anywhere else to go. He's a left-hand shot on the right side. He's got all that other side of the ice to shoot. With the puck out in front of him towards center ice, he's got more angle to pick from, and made a perfect shot inside the post. Fine effort by Wayne Merrick.
The Islanders now explode out to a 4-goal lead. It's 6-2 with 12:28 to go. Merrick from Connor at 7:32 of the second period. 4 straight goals by the Islanders opening up this 4-goal lead. And from the face-off, the puck deflects up into the crowd. And everybody getting a hand now, including people who catch it in the stands.
Well, the fans are really pumped. It's amazing. They've been sitting very patiently for the first 14 games, and I think, 6 or 7 at home, and they've stuck with the team, and the team is responding.
Well, it's not only great for the New York Islanders, but it's an emotional outburst here for the fans who have been waiting, as Eddie pointed out. As we pick up the action, Jocelyn Gavramov flings it up on the near side for Steve Vickers. Vickers racing up to the red line with Walter Tkachuk. He finds Tkachuk, can't split the defense. He is dumped off the play by Lewis. Billy Smith comes out to help out his teammates, and then Steve Vickers and Bob Lorimer pin it along the backboards for another faceoff.
Now, we had a lot of bodies on the ice there for a few minutes. Had Davey Lewis sliding out to make an attempt to block the shot. When Vickers broke through the middle, Lewis came out to block the shot. He got partway through, and in behind him came Markham, and Smith slid out to stop him, and each one of them took 2 players down with him. We had half the players laying on the ice.
Rangers control the faceoff. Here's Bothwell, top of the circle. He shoots a high shot, knocked down in front, taken by Billy Harris. Backhands it ahead for Jontanelli. It skids off his stick, wrapped aside by Gavremov, and it's recovered by the Islanders. Here's Bob Lorimer slapping it cross ice to Dave Lewis. Lewis returns to Lorimer, and Lorimer back to Lewis. And they play catch on the back line, and Lewis rifles the puck into the Ranger zone. Comes in the left corner, tapped by Bothwell, taken by Vickers. And Vickers now accelerating out of the Ranger zone to the red line, far side. Hedberg, he's bumped off the play by Dennis Potvin with a good hip check. A feed for Bothwell. Right in front, it bounced over the stick of Wadakachuk. He's stopped by Harris, and it's taken away by Dennis Potvin, who's having some kind of game here. Here's Brian Trottier now. Trottier has to backtrack. Now, he starts out, puts a move on Don Maloney, and drops it off for Billy Harris. What a move to get away from Don Maloney by Harris. Harris with a little stutter step move there, looked like Tony Archibald. And it comes back to the red line. Clark Gillies back for it. Gillies slams it into the Ranger zone. Stopped behind the net by Sotart. Islanders with some fresh troops on the ice, and it's Mike Bussey and company. Here comes Don Maloney at the red line, number 12. Flipping the puck into the left of Smith. He stopped it with a stick. He slows it down anyway for Potvin, who's met there by Esposito. And it's tied up in the corner for a face-off.
Islanders continuing that great effort. They're playing well-positioned hockey, but they're playing with a great enthusiasm that they haven't played with for a good part of the season, other than in spurts, Steve. And I say spurts, they were inconsistent. And so far in this game, they've played a very solid game, position-wise. They've been in position. They've moved the puck, and you notice how well they're passing it. They're not hesitating like they have other nights. They're just playing with a good flow, a tempo, and a rhythm.
Face off to the left of Billy Smith. Brian Trottier behind the net. Battle for the puck. Jean Potvin and Don Maloney. Jean Potvin comes out of the pack. Feeds Bossy ahead for Trottier. Crisp pass back to Bossy. Bossy has Gillies on the left. Trottier on the right. Drops it for Gillies. He winds. He shoots. Stick save. Rebound in front. Right through the legs of Trottier, who was being screened by Phil Esposito. The Islanders coming down like a machine. Swarming down on Doug Sotart. Here's Dennis Potvin whirling away from Don Murdoch. This is like a complete Jekyll and Hyde New York Islander team from earlier in the season. Bossy down to Gillies. Gillies has Trottier bursting through on the far side. Crisscrosses with Gillies into the Ranger zone. He shoots. Stick save. Oh, what a beautiful off-balance shot by Trottier. Here's Gillies with a backhand stuff try, and Doug Sotart makes the stop. There's a break of the action with the score. The Islanders 6, the Rangers 2. Face off to the right side of Doug Sotart. And Ron Duguay will face off against Kazicki. Kazicki gets thrown back to Lansman. A hard shot is wide. Blistering drive to the right of Sotar. The rebound corralled by John Stone. Can't clear it. Kept in by Anders Kalor. He drums it into the corner. Dave Maloney, the Ranger captain now, skips out of the zone over to Warren Miller. Miller picking up speed. Drops it off for Duguay. A high shot. Sails over the crossbar to the corner. Back to the point of shot by Maloney. Oh, and a deflection by Duguay. Changed the direction, but it went wide. It comes out cleared by Langevin, bouncing down into the Ranger zone to be retrieved by Dave Maloney. 9:20 to go in this second. The Islanders jumping out to a 6-2 lead. Here's Dave Maloney in across the line. Nice feed for Duguay. Duguay tied up by Kazicki, and then he just can throw it in behind. There's a delayed penalty coming up against the Islanders as Sotart leaves the ice. And the Rangers will have a power play. It's going to be a holding penalty against Dave Langevin. There's a break of the action with the score. Islanders 6, Rangers 2. So it's holding on Langevin at 10:49. Power play for the Rangers, who trail by 4 goals. Face off the right of Billy Smith, and a quick whistle. Ron Asselstein, a former WHA referee, read an interesting story about Asselstein when I was announcing the WHA. He was a rough character as a kid. He belonged to Hell's Angels, and boy, did he come out all right. He's a linesman now in the National Hockey League. Here's Dave Maloney back at the blue line. A shot into a mess of skates and legs, and it goes wide. Goes into the far corner now for Billy Harris. Harris away from Warren Miller. It comes over to Ron Gressner. He works it free, and Billy Harris has it. Flips the puck up high. It bounces off the near boards. Back to the blue line of the Rangers. Dave Maloney back to get it. 20 seconds gone by on the Langevin penalty. Dave Maloney over to Ron Gressner. Gressner is being hawked by Lauren Henning. Forechecking. Henning, one of the premier penalty killers. Maloney shovels it ahead for Miller. Miller down ice for Duguay on the near side. The puck just slipped off his stick, and Bob Lorimer hammers it back to center ice. Now Gressner over to Johnstone. He's got Miller streaking on the right, decides to go to Duguay on the left. Duguay is bottled up and pounded to the ice by Lorimer. Back to Duguay, who maintained his balance. Gressner at the left point. Right point to Dave Maloney. Confronted by Harris. He threw it right in the middle, and Putman couldn't clear it. Taken away by Henning. A hit. Harris coming in. Harris shoots. He scores!
You can never accuse them of not giving it a second effort. They had them all tied up at the blue line, both defensemen of the Rangers. Lorne Henning gave a vertical pass to Billy Harris. He legged it all the way in. He was stick, hooked, and pulled from behind by Maloney. But he kept going with a great second effort. He slid the puck this time to the left of Sotar, right on the ice. A great second effort by Billy Harris. Some great checking by the Islanders penalty killers. Lorne Henning springing him loose.
We have seen some beautiful goals tonight. That ranks right up there. Maybe as the best we've seen tonight, because he was being dragged from behind by Dave Maloney. Here's an offside right off the faceoff against the Rangers. If he hadn't scored, that would have been a possible penalty shot if he was dragged down.
The only thing that would have made it so he couldn't have a penalty shot was if the puck was to make it to the net. Even with the momentum of him carrying it, the puck, if the goaltender has to stop it, they don't award one. But he was definitely being hooked and high-sticked a little from behind. Got the puck away anyway and right on the ice again.
To make it more dramatic, Eddie, the fact that the Islanders were shorthanded when he scored that goal, and it's 7-2.
I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, the second shorthanded goal the Islanders have scored. A great goal and a very exciting one.
And they are still buzzing here at the Coliseum after that goal by Billy Harris. From the faceoff, Stephen Pearson deep in the corner in his own zone over to Dave Lewis. Winds it around for Henning. He gulps it down the ice. 35 seconds on the Langevin penalty. It's as if the Islanders are getting all their venom out from what happened to them against the Rangers in the playoffs last year in this period. Now, Anders Hedberg back into the Islanders' zone. Nice move into the far corner, looking for Beck at the far point. Returns to Hedberg. Hedberg, top of the circle, watched by Lewis and Howard. Looking for position, poked away by Lorne Henning. What a job by Henning.
That's good positioning, Steve. He was in the right spot. He was right on the top of the circle.
Now the Rangers start back with 1 second, no seconds. It's all over on Langevin's penalty. He's back on the ice. Here's a feed for Miroir at the red line. Miroir fires it in, comes around into the near corner for Langevin. Langevin played by Kachuk. Langevin behind the net for Pearson. Under 7 minutes to go in the second period. Islanders lead by 5. That last goal, Harris, his second of the night, his 7th from Henning at 11:51. Rangers have it. Tim Bothwell up to the red line, and he unleashes it high. It's plucked out of the air by Pearson. Return to Bothwell at the red line, and Bothwell rifles it in. Stopped by Billy Smith for Dave Lewis. Lewis watched by forechecking Esposito, and he's in no hurry. He just golfs the puck, and it hit the back of Will Norris, one of the linesmen. It's poked away by Trottier, and the Rangers back to cover. Here's Bothwell.
Islanders wanting to get a change. The reason they were trying to shoot it down.
Trottier steals the pass for Bossy, intercepted by Bothwell. Over it goes to Don Murdoch. Murdoch with a nice move away from Lorimer. Throws it into the slot for Don Maloney. A shot over the crossbar. Good move by Murdoch to Maloney. Out come the Islanders. Gillies over to Trottier to Bossy. And Trottier lowers that left shoulder and steams into the Rangers zone. He's got room. He flips it back to Putman. He shoots. Knocked down by Sotar. Oh, brother, as Brian Trottier came exploding through, he passed it off to Dennis Potvin. And Sotard made the save. There's a break of the action with the score. Islanders 7, Rangers 2. Unselfish player like Brian Trottier, and instead of taking that shot, he passed it off.
What a great player. He's so confident tonight. The whole team is, and they're playing with the great confidence that they need to.
And Trottier looking for another hat trick. Here's Tim Bothwell. 5:50 to go in the second. 7-2 Islanders. Bothwell with a head-manning pass to Ron Duguay. In the corner, he's jammed by Pearson. It's wound around the boards. Kept in at the left point by Bothwell. He winds, he shoots, throws it into some traffic, and it's deflected wide. Back it goes to Bothwell at the point. Now Bill ahead is taken out by Kazicki. Pearson wrestles with Duguay. The puck squirts free. Now it goes back into the cluster. They pin it in for a face-off. And it will come to the right of Billy Smith. 5:27 to go in the second period.
Stefan Pearson playing a fine game tonight, Steve. He's been under the gun a little bit with the Islander management for not performing the way he has over the past few years. Certainly is playing much better tonight. He's playing the body, and he's using that long reach that he has. He's got one of the longest reaches for a fellow that doesn't look that gangly. He has. You'll see him poke check the puck a great deal away from players when they think they're around him or they've gotten by him, and he's taking advantage of that again tonight.
Well, the entire Islander defense has been under close scrutiny these past few weeks. There has been lots of criticism lodged against them, and they are putting it together tonight. Ron Duguay against Mike Kazicki from the faceoff. Here comes Ivan Votour, bringing it up to the red line, carries in across the blue line of the Rangers, taken out by Bothwell and slammed by Gavremov. Back to Pearson. He comes to the slot. He shoots. He scores!
Talking about moved in beautifully from the blue line, intercepted the pass, moved right into the center in the high slot, put it right on the ice to the left of Zotart this time. All the goals right on the ice.
It is 8-2. Pearson's second goal from Ivan Votour and Anders Kalor. Soft shot in on Zotart. And a centering pass goes to Kazicki. Couldn't get the shot on goal. It went wide. The sarcastic cheers now beginning to mount against Doug Zotart, the young goaltender, who's had some fine games this year. It comes in behind the net, but he is up against a tidal wave of Islanders right now. Tim Bothwell was checked behind the net by Mike Kazicki. Right now, there's a break of the action. There's going to be a penalty coming up for hooking. Break of the action with the score. Islanders 8, Rangers 2.
He's certainly upset with himself. Mike Kazicki was in behind. Zotart got a piece of Kazicki, but Mike had his stick up and got a hold of the arm, and down he went, the Ranger defenseman. 2 minutes for hooking.
Dave Maloney now carries up to the red line as the Islanders have the shorthanded situation, but they capitalized the last time they were down as Billy Harris scored on a breakaway with Dave Maloney screaming down his back. Here's Billy Harris, tries to clear it. He broke Warren Miller's stick in the process, and Miller apparently the stick is all right. He picks it back up, centers it for Esposito, goes right off his back, and a nice play by Harris to knock it away from Gressner. Harris barnstorming along the far boards in front of the Islander bench, falls down with Gressner on top. Here's Esposito coming in on Henning. Henning taking Espo off the play, which is not easy. It comes in behind the net for John Stone to Warren Miller. Miller in the face-off circle. Shovels it back to the point for Dave Maloney. His shot is wide. Kept it at the far point by Gressner. He winds, he shoots. It's wide. Dave Newell had to do a dance to get away from it. Comes back on the near side now in that Islander zone. And the Islanders clear it. Lauren Henning pokes it free. And Henning just picks up where he left off, as does Billy Harris on the last shorthanded situation. Here's Ron Gressner on the far side for Miller. Miller wraps it around behind the net. Bob Lorimer cuts it off. It bounces away. Back to Dave Maloney. Gets around Gary Howard. Takes it to the corner side of the net. Eddie Johnstone centers for Espo. Broken up by Lorimer. The puck tied up in the netting at the side of the goal for a whistle. 29 seconds left on the Kazicki hooking penalty.
Esposito giving Billy Smith a little warning when he came in from the side of the net off the right wing the last time. Billy got his stick up a little bit in towards Esposito's face. Phil is not someone to sit back and take that. But what really happened when he brought it up, Lauren Henning was checking Esposito, and as he tried to cut towards the front of the net, I think Billy caught Lauren with the stick. Fans getting after Esposito, I think, a little bit for questioning Billy.
Face-off coming to the right side of Billy Smith. Incidentally, that last Islander goal, Pearson second from Vautour in color at 14:45. Billy Harris and Brian Trottier each have 2 goals in this game.
I should mention, too, Steve, that if Billy made a motion, a fellow like Esposito isn't someone that Billy is necessarily going to be after, because Esposito's a pure player around the net. He just puts the puck by you. That's the way he intimidates you.
Kachuk against Trottier. Islanders losing the draw. 23 seconds to go on the penalty to Kazicki. Here is Vickers, swings it out to the point to Beck, cuts to his right, having trouble controlling the puck. Back it goes to Marois, fakes a shot, sends it over to Hedberg. Hedberg back to Marois at the right point. He returns to Hedberg, swings it left point to Beck. He winds, he shoots, 6 saves. Nice save by Billy Smith. That shot dead on. Comes into the left corner now. They scramble for it, and they pile up in the corner as Kachuk and Trottier trying to hold each other off. We'll have another face-off in the Islanders' zone. 3 seconds on the penalty.
Now Barry Beck lets a shot go. Brian Trottier makes him shoot it almost around him. Billy gets down quickly low as the puck came in and makes a nice kick save with his right pad. Just after that, a puck went into the corner, and two Rangers were right in on top. Kachuk was in on top of with Vickers on top of John Potvin. In come Brian Trottier to freeze the puck. Smart play by Brian.
And Kazicki getting ready to spring out of that penalty box. From the face-off, the puck goes just beyond the reach of Marois. Back to the red line. The penalty is over, and Kazicki has returned. 2.5 to go in this second period, which has been all Islanders. Here's a feed to Tonelli. Tonelli now in across the Ranger line, returning for Merrick, intercepted by Beck. Beck cut Merrick off. And Big Barry Beck, Bubba Beck, over to Mario Marouan now. A pass for Hedberg, controlled by Kachuk, back to Hedberg on the right wing and across the Islander line. Kachuk centers, intended for Vickers, and he was bottled up there by Jean Potvin. Now Vickers comes bursting into that crowd, trying to break it up, and Hedberg with Tonelli. It skids out to the point for Marois, who shot it way off the mark. Under 2 minutes to go in the period. And Ivan Vautour brings it up to the red line, taken out by Kachuk, picked up by Merrick, and he slams it into the Ranger zone. It comes around for Vautour, who keeps it alive. He springs it loose behind the net. Beck there before Tonelli. He sends it over to Hedberg. Hedberg puts it in front of the net for Beck. And Beck onto the stick of Marois. He starts out for the Rangers. 1.5 minutes to go. There's a collision at center ice. Vautour and Hedberg. Newell's got the hand up, and Hedberg going after Vautour. He got up and took a run. Very uncharacteristic. He took exception to what Vautour did at center ice, and you very rarely see Hedberg do something like that.
On the play, I don't think Vautour saw Hedberg. He was looking the other way, and when Hedberg crossed in front of the Islanders' blue line, Vautour was looking the other way towards the puck, and they collided. I think Hedberg thought he did it on purpose and went back after him.
Hedberg is just fuming. Now he's settling down. Well, you never see him do that. He was hit by Vautour, then he wasted no time. He got right up and went right after Vautour, and now he skates around Ivan. Doesn't say a word to him. Vautour going to the penalty box.
I'd be surprised now. Here we got Hedberg went to the bench. Oh, that's a penalty. When you've been assessed a penalty and you go to your bench, you're supposed to get another one. Hedberg went right to the bench a few moments ago. He skated right by Vautour. He couldn't have been too mad at him. He could have hit him right then. I mean, the effort he made to get to him in the first place, he had a chance when he skated by Vautour, getting to his own bench and let him go.
Well, cooler heads prevailed, as they say.
Number 15, Anders Hedberg. 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Cross-checking on
Islander
Hedberg.
penalty. Number 20, Ivan Vautour. 2 minutes for interference.
Interference on Vautour.
Final penalties at 18:31.
At 18:31.
Hedberg, 2 for cross-checking. Vautour, 2 for interference.
One of those things where Hedberg just exploded momentarily, and then he realized, hey, that's not me.
Well, Hedberg, in a way, you know, when you think about it, had a right. He didn't understand, I don't think, that Vautour never meant to hit him. Vautour never saw him. They didn't see each other, and when they collided, both players went down. And if Vautour's intention was to deliberately hit him in a place other than where the puck is, Vautour's a strong young fella. He'd have half killed him if he'd have been winding him up that way. But as it turns out, it's an accidental thing, but the penalty was assessed to Vautour for interference, which it could be very easily be called. Hedberg retaliated, cross-checking him from behind, and gets a 2-minute penalty for high sticking or cross-checking. Cross-checking.
That's easy for you to say. 1:29 second period. The Islanders bursting out to an 8-2 lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, a special announcement. People from Wendy's.
And we'll have a face-off just inside the Islander blue line when we resume. Don't forget to stay tuned for Stan Fischler's summary and all the festivities between periods and the post-game show at the start of the game. Big roar went up in the crowd. The fans are loving it here tonight. They're giving away coupons at one of our sponsors here, Wendy's, and so I guess they're getting a little extra tacked on because of what's going on tonight.
Well, Wendy's have the Islanders score 6 goals. It's chilly night, and anyone here at the game or anyone that has a ticket from the game takes it into Wendy's, gets a free bowl of chili if the Islanders score 6, and they just announced that if they get 12, they get 2 bowls.
Well, that's kind of rubbing it in, I guess. You can look at that from 2 points of view. So from the faceoff, it comes out to Mario Marois with a long shot. Boy, that was a ferocious shot by Marois, and Smith got a piece of it, and a ricochet all the way to the corner. Newell's got his hand up. There's a penalty coming up. It might be on Dennis Potvin. He took a poke, and there's going to be a hooking penalty coming up as well to add to the other penalty. Collor for hooking after Newell had the hand up. The Islanders will have 2 men going off here in this instance. There's going to be a slashing penalty and a hooking penalty.
Well, Barry Beck comes in over the blue line, and referee Newell already has his hand up. That's about a 6, a rated 6 out of 10 on the scale in the Olympics for a dive, but he's assessing another penalty now. He had his arm up to assess 1, and I'm not sure who it was to. And then while that infraction was, well, the play was still on, Rangers with possession of the puck, the whistle doesn't blow, there's another penalty occurred.
Yeah, I think it's either Dennis or Jean Potvin, and Dennis is the one.
Well, we've got Collur in there. Dennis. The original infraction was on Andre Collur, and then right after that, Dennis hooks Barry Beck and gets one also. So now the Islanders are going
Islander penalty on number 5, Dennis Potvin, 2 minutes for slashing.
Dennis gets
and to number 28, Anders Collur, 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalties at 18:53.
So even though the game has kind of gotten out of hand on the scoreboard, referee Dave Newell is trying to keep it as tight as possible as far as the penalties and the altercations are concerned. It is hooking Collur, slashing Dennis Potvin at 18:53. Islanders have 3 men in the penalty box. It'll be a 4-on-3 scanning advantage for the Rangers.
Well, when the original penalties will be up, the Islanders will be 2 men short for only a half a minute.
Mario Marois has the top of the circle in that Islanders zone. A hard shot is wide, and the rebound comes skidding all the way down into the Rangers zone.
Thing that'll make the Rangers mad there. Marois missing the net is an icing for the Islanders. Kills a lot of time.
3 laps for Marois. If that were practice. Here comes Don Murdoch. Murdoch top of the circle. Some nice moves. Out to Beck. Beck winds. Fakes a shot. Returns to Murdoch. He's got some opening. He fires it wide. 2 wide shots by the Islanders. First by Marois, then by Don Murdoch. And it's cleared by Henning down into the Rangers zone. He gets away from Sotart. He's got to be mumbling to himself at this point. Here's Marois. Feeds it down to Barry Beck. 26 seconds to go in the second period. 8-2 Islanders. Mario Marois now swinging into the attacking zone, looking for some help. Comes into the corner, fires it back to Beck. Returns to Marois at the side of the net. In front, Esposito bottled up by Lormer, taken by Henning. Backhands it right off the boards to the neutral zone. Back to Beck and across the line. Drops it over to Murdoch. A shot is way up high. And into the crowd as the buzzer sounds.
Great penalty killing by Lorne Henning. The thing is that when there's only 3 of you out there, you've got to create a star now instead of a box, and the position becomes that much more crucial, Steve. And in the end of the rink with the play on the Islanders, Lorne Henning never out of position. Great move.
So once again, when we go into the third period, the Islanders will be tested on the shorthanded situation. Stay tuned for Stan Fischler in the recap. The score after 2. The Islanders 8, the Rangers 2.
Stan Fischler in the studio at Nassau Coliseum at the end of the second period, a truly an atomic period for the Islanders. They now lead the Rangers 8-2. The breakaway goal in that period for the Islanders was scored by Brian Trottier from Bossy and Pearson at 2:50. That was followed by a goal by Mike Bossy from Gillies and Pearson at 5:37. Both power play goals. Followed by the Islanders' Dennis Potvin from Bossy and Trottier at 5:49. And then a beautiful goal by Wayne Merrick cutting around the right side. I think he went around Dave Maloney on that play, scoring on an assist from Kellor at 7:32. And then the Islanders, a man short, a breakaway by Billy Harris, even though he was heckled from behind, scoring from Lorne Henning. That was at 11:51. And rounding it out, Stefan Pearson from Ivan Vautour and Anders Keller at 14:45. A lot of penalties in that period. The Rangers getting 2 in a row. First Tkachuk for tripping at 2:22. Then Tkachuk for hooking at 5:18. Then the Islanders, Dave Langevin for holding at 10:49. Mike Kazicki for hooking at 15:24. The Rangers, Anders Hedberg for cross-checking and Ivan Vautour of the Islanders for interference simultaneously off at 18:31. And then the Islanders getting simultaneous penalties. Anders Kellor for hooking, Denny Potvin for slashing at 18:53. So the score at the end of 2, the Islanders 8, the Rangers 2. We'll be back in just a moment.
As far as the penalties, 2 minutes, Anders Kellor, he went off at the end of the second period. 53 seconds to go on Dennis Potvin, 31 seconds on Ivan Vautour, and Anders Hedberg still has 31 seconds as well. He went off with Vautour. So it is 4-on-3 skating-wise in favor of the New York Rangers, skating from left to right as we begin this third period. Islanders lead at 8-2. Rangers keep it in. Now it's knocked out by Lorne Henning, who continues his tremendous play here on the shorthanded situation. Marois at the near point. Cross ice to Barry Beck, watched by Henning. Beck returns to Marois. Marois throws it into the left corner now for Steve Vickers. Vickers covered by Lorimer. A shot by Marois. Save. Rebound. Beck a shot and a save. Another shot to score. Walter Tkachuk puts it in. And it's 8-3 Islanders.
Well, you can't stop a ball. Billy Smith challenged 3 straight times. And Marois shoots the puck really hard. Let go a quick wrist shot. Or that was Maloney let go a quick wrist shot from close in. He made the save. Then Beck made another shot from well out. Stevie Vickers standing loose in front of the net. You can't cover everybody. When it boils down to a 4-on-3 situation, the advantage is that much more to the team with the one-man advantage rather than the 5-on-4. And Stevie Vickers pumps home a shot past Walter Tkachuk, pumped that by Billy Smith on a rebound, and Billy had no opportunity at all.
It's a power play goal for the Rangers, who now trail by 5 goals, so they come right out here and do exactly what they have to do and score a goal.
There was 20 seconds still left on the penalty to Potvin, or he'd have been out and they'd have been at even strength. Now they've still got a 2-minute penalty to kill.
All right, so from the ensuing face-off, Marois threads the needle to Tkachuk. Tkachuk winds, a shot deflected by Jean Potvin way upstairs into the end zone seats.
Davy Lewis rushed out on that particular play, Steve, and tried to time himself so he could go down and block the shot that Marois was lining up to shoot. And when he did that, Marois held the puck. A very smart play by Marois, and enabled him to get the puck through to Billy Smith on the shot.
There's Marois again with a hard shot, stick save by Smith. 1:41 to go on the penalty to Anders Keller. It was Tkachuk's third from Beck and Marois at 33 seconds, a power play goal for the Rangers. Beck to the red line for Tkachuk, trying to control the bouncing puck. It's taken away by Henning, who flips it down ice. The Rangers still have the power play. It's rolled down into the Ranger zone. Sotard puts it aside for Marois. Marois swings it over to Beck. And Barry Beck now will start out for the Rangers. Engineers the attack, and from the red line, he uncorks it. It comes rippling through in behind the net, poked by Smith. Nice play to get away from Don Maloney. Esposito tied up by Billy Harris, having a whale of a night. Harris with 2 goals, as does Brian Trottier. That's kept in by Don Murdoch. Fires it back in. John Potvin in front of Phil Esposito, who has been kept relatively quiet tonight. Don Murdoch over to Don Maloney. The pass too long. Maloney is bumped by Henning at the red line, but Don got it back to Greshner. 45 seconds on the Keller penalty. Red line. It is Dave Maloney coming across now. Whips it over to Esposito, looking in front for Don Maloney, and it comes free for Maloney in behind the net. Maloney and Dennis Potvin. Dennis takes it away from Don. And Dennis takes it up to the red line now. Comes in across the blue line. He has to wait. Henning went across. He had to hold up. And he is flattened by Don Maloney. Gets up slowly, looks over to Dave Newell, nothing called. Here's Bob Lorimer. 16 seconds to go on the Islander penalty to Trottier. Long shot. Stick save by Sotar. Rebound comes out to Harris. He lost it. And Ron Greshner picks it up. Here's Greshner to the red line ahead for Murdoch. Murdoch shoots. Fires it high over the crossbar. Comes in behind the net for Lorimer. The penalty is now over. And Cudor is back on the ice. Back behind the net, Lorimer. Lorimer winds it around. Too long for Trottier. And Dave Maloney back to get it. Islanders successfully killing it off on that last surge, and Ron Greshner fires it back in. Mike Bossy is on the ice, along with Clark Gillies and Brian Trottier. Dave Lewis on defense with Bob Lorimer. Lewis on the left wing to Gillies. He lost possession, coughed it up to Greshner at the Ranger line. Another fast-paced period here, and back it goes to Greshner.
Team's checking a little close at this particular point, Steve.
Not as wide open as that wild second period. The Islanders bursting out in front. 8-2. Now it's 8-3. Rangers losing possession. Lewis throws it softly in from the left point. Rolls into the far corner. Bossy is there. He's hit by Dave Maloney. Throws it behind the net. Gillies checks Greshner. And they pin it in behind the net. And we'll have a stoppage of play. There's a break in the action with a score. Islanders 8, Rangers 3. Albert with Eddie Westfall. Face off to the right side of Doug Sotard. 16:32 to go in the third. 8-3 Islanders. The puck rolling over to Don Maloney, or Eddie Johnstone behind the net, being chased behind his collar. Here is Josh Gavremont. And he puts on the brakes behind the net. Watched by a forechecking Connor. Looking for help now as the Rangers work on their breakout play. Now on the far side, it is Tim Bothwell. Tied up for the moment. Warren Miller swings it back into the Islander zone. It rolls to the right. Billy Smith takes it. Dumps it to the left corner. Gary Howard bumped by Duguay. Gets it over to Langevin. Langevin slams it over to Pearson. Crisp pass. Here's Kazicki. Breakout. 3-on-2 for the Islanders. Cudor to Kazicki into the Rangers zone. Now the Rangers break back on defense. And Duguay gobbles it up to the red line. He's got Warren Miller on the right. Cuts it across the blue line with Johnstone. Tried to drop it for Johnstone. Poked free by the Islanders to the red line. And it's once again gathered in by the Rangers' Josh Gavremont. He flings it softly into the mitt of Billy Smith. And it's wound around the boards to Howard. Went back to Gavremont. Hard shot. Glove save by Billy Smith. And on a doorstep, Warren Miller. And Miller really getting it now from Billy Smith. And we've got a pile up in front. And nothing doing. So they simmer down. There's a break in the action with a score. Islanders 8, Rangers 3. Kazicki and Duguay facing it off to the right of Smith. Islanders by 5. 15:33 to go in the game. Linesman Will Norris steps between the two, drops the puck, and from the face-off, Stefan Pearson carries it. And he throws it out to Gary Howard now up to the red line. Howard is bumped by Markham. It comes through in behind the net for Tim Bothwell. And Bothwell swings it back for Josh Gavremont. Here's Markham over to Duguay. Duguay with a lead pass for Lahead. Broken up by Pearson at the Islander line. And back it goes to Gavremont. Gavremont at the red line, and he throws it in. Comes in behind the net. Stefan Pearson in the left corner. Pearson falls down. Markham grabs hold. He's behind the net trying to stuff it. He threw it right in the crease. It went through the legs of Smith, but the wrong way out towards the open ice. Here's Cudor in across the Ranger line. Drops for Howard. It's broken up by Markham and picked up by Bothwell. And Bothwell of the Rangers up ahead to Duguay. Duguay in across the Islander line. He is checked hard by Jean Potvin, and it comes back into the near corner. Dennis Potvin picks it up, and he dumps it through to the red line for Mario Marois. Rangers trying to mount some kind of attack, but things are looking very bleak. Jean Potvin down to Wayne Merrick. Merrick, who scored a beautiful goal in the second period, comes in across the line. Centering for Votora was broken up, and back comes Anders Hedberg with a burst of speed and across the Islander line, and offside was Walter Tkachuk. Let's take 5 seconds for station identification. This is the New York Islanders Hockey Network.
This is WALK FM, Patchogue, New York. The news follows the game.
Steve Albert with Ed Westfall here at the the Coliseum.
Anders Hedberg, a great speedy player, good puck handler, come down the right wing that time, Steve. He has a habit of coming down the right wing and cutting into the center, and he has the puck being a left-hand shot away from the defenseman, which gives him an advantage not only on shooting, but also on protecting the puck away from the defenseman. But he turned a little too quick towards center as he crossed the line. Walter Tkachuk breaking down on the left side, offside.
Hedberg never had less than 50 goals in 4 WHA seasons. With Bobby Hull and the Winnipeg Jets before coming onto the rink. Playing behind the Ranger net, Barry Beck winds it around for Steve Vickers. He's bottled up for the moment by Tonelli. The puck comes free to the red line. Back tapped by Vautour over to Bob Lorimer. He lost his balance for a moment. Goes to Hedberg in front for Vickers. Stolen by Lewis. Back it comes to Tonelli. And here's a break for the Islanders. A pass intended for Vautour is stolen by Tkachuk in the middle. And the Rangers recapture. 13:40 to go in the third. 8-3 Islanders. A pass at the red line picked up by Vickers. 3-on-2 for the Rangers. Vickers left side to Tkachuk coming right in. Hooked away by a sprawling Billy Smith. Into the left corner. Wayne Merrick tied up by Anders Hedberg. The puck sits there for a face-off. And there's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 8, the Rangers 3. And a face-off to the left of Billy Smith. Esposito against Trottier, who's looking for a hat trick. His second of the year if he gets it. Dennis Potvin behind the Islander goal. Now he's looking for some elbow room, being covered by Esposito. Don Maloney to Esposito. He shoots point-blank, saved by Smith. Don Maloney with a pretty steal, and he fed it right in front to Esposito, and again Billy Smith holding his own. Comes into the left corner, and Bossy hurdled over a stick. Loose puck in front. Bossy and Trottier barrel after the puck. A shot by Gillies, a wild shot, and Sotard made the save. There's going to be a penalty coming up on Ron Grester for hooking.
Bossy. I think he's going to get it for hooking Bossy as he...
Boy, he sent Bossy hurtling into the corner.
That's twice now. Esposito's been left alone in front of the net, and Billy Smith has knocked him down each time. Knocked the puck down, made the save. Esposito. Michael Bossy dumps the puck in and gets hooked by Greshner as he crossed over the blue line, charging into the corner to retrieve the puck that had been just dumped in. Then Clark Gillies gets a smack at the puck on the backhand, kind of a backhanded chip shot that Sotard caught, juggled a little, and held on. Some fine action again by the line of Trottier, Bossy, and Gillies. They've been putting pressure on all night, and they've been getting a lot of production.
Boy, that was a difficult shot by Gillies. I don't know how he got it off. Cutting against the grain, he got it off, and it was on goal. Sotard had to make the stop. Face off to Sotard's right. 2 minutes on Grester. Power play for the Islanders already have a big 8-3 lead. Mario Marois out there to kill it off with Barry Beck, Warren Miller, and Eddie Johnstone, and Rangers shoot it in. Billy Smith has it. Leaves it for Dennis Potvin. And Dennis up ahead for Clark Gillies. Gillies racing up to the red line with Bossy and Trottier. Gillies into the Ranger zone, takes it in, sends it out to Pearson. He shoots, knocked down in front by a whole bunch of guys, and it goes flying into the right corner. Beck goes head first into the corner boards. Trottier comes out of there over to Bossy. A shot knocked down in front by Warren Miller. Miller comes busting out of the zone for Eddie Johnstone, and Johnstone will hold it up for a moment. Back to Beck. Beck winds up, fakes his shot, and then he sends it off to the near boards for Marois, and Marois gets it right back. 12:07 to go. 1:08 on the penalty to Greshner. Here comes a wide-open Eddie Johnstone coming in on right wing. He shoots, saved by Smith. Whisks it aside for Anders Culler. Johnstone coming right back. He is all over the place now. Johnstone gobbles it up at center ice. You got to give him a hand the way he's playing.
Certainly has. A couple of mistakes by the Islanders, just assuming that no one was behind him. The defense moved up a little too far. Johnstone got in behind.
He got behind the lines. Here come the Islanders again. Kazuki drops it back through everybody. And Billy Harris has to go back to retrieve. Josh Gavraba has the puck at the red line, swings it back to Dave Maloney. 34 seconds to go on the penalty to Greshner. And the Islanders' power play not clicking right here.
They're not organized, Steve. They've got to go back where they are now behind the net, get the puck organized, and have everybody come up together.
All right, Dennis Potvin spearheads the attack. Stefan Pearson ahead for Mike Kazuki. He's got Harris and Cotter up front. Kazuki into the Ranger zone. In front for Harris. He couldn't get the shot off, and it's turned aside by the goaltender, Sotard. Wound around around the boards by Dave Maloney, kept in at the point by Dennis Potvin, and now they are ruling that it just did flick out by a hair, so it's going to be offside. Ron Asselstein right on the scene at the blue line, the linesman.
He looks like a pretty big fellow in his own right to Asselstein. He's a huge man and very agile, too. He moves very well on his skates. I was watching him earlier in the game.
Would not want to mess with either him or Leon Stickle, for that matter, one of the other linesmen in the National Hockey League. Big guys.
John D'Amico, another one. Big, quiet giants.
But don't awake the sleeping giant. Mike Kazicki and Ron Duguay will face it off just outside the Ranger line. Rangers down 8-3. The penalty on Greshner is expiring right now. He's out of the box. Now, Rangers back at full strength as Bob Lorimer lofts it up in the air. It's backhanded by Sotart off goal. Drops it for Jocelyn Gavremont. He throws it into the far corner for Bill ahead. Taken away by Collar. A lead pass for Kazicki. Back to Howard. Gary Howard making good on the rebound. It's 9-3.
Justice has been done, Steve. Gary Howard, who worked hard all night long, every night, got a nice rebound, popped it in on a Sotart. Great check by Anders Keller to shake the puck loose. Got the puck across. Sotart kicked it loose. Howard came in on the left side very quickly and made no bones about it. He didn't try to handle the puck. He shot it straight into the open net. Sotart stretching out, trying to reach for the puck in the last minute in desperation. But Gary Howard's got it in, and the Islanders go ahead 9-3.
Number 2 for Gary Howard this year.
Fine check by Keller to take the puck loose from Johnstone.
From the face-off, Kazicki taps it into the Ranger zone. Dave Maloney picks it up behind the net, being watched by Howard. These are not fluky goals. These are well organized and set up. And here's Ron Greshner. Swings it out to the red line. Bill ahead into the Islander zone. Trying to build up some steam. Checked off the play in the slot by Lewis. Back from the Islanders. Howard. A pass for Kazicki just behind him, and he flips it into the Ranger end. Sotart winds it around. Dave Lewis going after it with Ron Greshner. Lewis there first in the corner behind the net now for Vautour. Vautour slips away from Dave Maloney. Centers it for Lewis. Picked off by Greshner, though. Good play by Vautour, but Greshner was there to intercept. 9:50 to go in the third. It's a tidal wave here for the Islanders, who lead it 9-3. Now, Ron Duguay in pursuit along with Stefan Pearson in the far corner in Islander ice. Pearson gets to it first, swings it over to Langevin, and Dave Langevin starts out for the Islanders. Pearson up to the red line, and he flips it in. It's going to be offside. Merrick ahead of the play. There's a break in the action with a score. The Islanders 9, Rangers 3. Well, Al Arbor has to be beaming right now. He's coaching in his 600th National Hockey League game tonight, reaching quite a milestone. 9:25 to go in the third period. And the Islanders have the puck. Here's Merrick in his own zone. Drops for Stefan Pearson. Pearson veers to his left around defenseman Langevin, and he dumps the puck up high. Gavremont stopped it at the Ranger line, and it goes back to Tonelli, head faking to get away from Tkachuk, and then he hurdles on top of Tim Bothwell. The puck winds up in deep Ranger ice. Gavremont being pursued by Billy Harris. The puck flipped off by Gavremont to the near boards to the red line. Back to get it. Here's Pearson. Swings it off the far boards to Merrick, and Merrick dumps it back into Gavremont in that Ranger end. Here's Tim Bothwell. Bothwell starting out of the Ranger zone. Puts on the stick of Gavremont. Up ahead for Hedberg. Cuts to his left, losing on a stick check by Pearson. Rolls back to the red line. Gavremont. Islanders setting up a wall at the blue line. Now it's slipped in by the Rangers into the left corner, and after it is Hedberg. Centers it through the legs of Tkachuk. Back to Merrick, over to Harris. Here comes the 2-on-2 with Tonelli on the right side. Harris head faking in across the line, crisscrossing with Tonelli. Puts on the brakes. He shoots. Oh, a beauty of a shot, but a stick saved by Sotart. Billy Harris looking like Jean Beliveau on that last surge. Here's Bothwell up to the red line. And he flips it into the left corner. It ricochets in front of the net. Smith puts it aside for Dennis Potvin. 8:05 to go in the third. 9-3 Islanders. Here's a lead pass down to Trottier, who is hanging at the red line. He's across the line with Marois back on defense. Tries to send it to Bossy, and Marois with a good play to knock it away. Now here's Gillies back in front for Potvin. Shoots. He scores! They do it again. They hit double figures. It's 10-3.
Double Chili. You know how everybody gets caught up in this? Alan Bernstein, the president of the Wendy's chain, made it for 10 goals, 2 chilies as Brian Trottier feeds a pass in front. Marois double chili for the folks. I was saying Alan Bernstein, the president, who is a great Islander fan of the Wendy's chain, said if they get 10, we'll double the chili. So it's double chili night with 10 to 3 for the Islanders.
And the Rangers have inserted Wayne Thomas in the nets now, and that is all for Doug Sotard after giving up his 10th goal. From the face-off now, here is John Potvin dumping it into the near corner. Of course, Thomas gets no warm-up. A centering try by Trottier, and it's smothered immediately by Wayne Thomas, and tempers are flaring in front of the goal. Let's throw it over to Stan Fischler.
Well, there's no question about it that the Battle of the Titans tonight, supposedly Dennis Potvin versus Barry Beck, has been all Potvin. Beck has hardly been a factor for the Rangers on offense, and he's been a complete bust on defense.
All right, Stan, as we pick up the play, Mario Marois behind his own net, feeds it over to Barry Beck, returns to Marois. Marois up to the red line, and he slides it in. Comes around to the far corner for Bossy. Bossy plays it off the boards. Beck keeps it in, throws it over to Maloney. Back to Murdoch. He shoots. He scores! Don Murdoch with a quick wrist shot from the slot, and it's 10-4 Islanders.
So often it happens, Steve, especially when the score is where it is. Michael Bossy trying to clear it ahead to Trottier. It's kept in by Beck. Passes to Murdoch right in the slot. He snaps a quick wrist shot that was deflected. I think it went off of the Islander defenseman. I couldn't see which one, but it hit one of the defensemen, deflected into the right corner of the net. Billy Smith again not having a chance. The tendency when you get to 10-3 at that point is to let up a little bit and enjoy the fact that you've got a 10-3 lead over your adversaries and your neighbors, and the Rangers took advantage of it.
It is Don Murdoch's 7th goal, 35 seconds after Dennis Potvin scored. Now a scramble in front of the Ranger net. Bossy takes a poke at it. A wild scramble, and the puck finally comes free. Behind the net for Esposito. Boy, Wayne Thomas has some buzzing as he came right off the bench. And the puck winds up back at the Islander blue line for Mike Bossy. Slips it through to the neutral zone. And Trottier back to Lewis. Lewis at the red line. Dumps it into the Ranger zone, and Marois got it now. It's Don Murdoch from Don Maloney and Barry Beck at 12:42 to make it 10-4. A long shot by Marois, sticked aside by Smith, allowing the Rangers to make a line change. Lorimer sliding it down into the Ranger zone. Dave Maloney back there. Ivan Vautour is on the ice now with Gary Howitt, Lauren Henning, Stefan Pearson, and Dave Langevin are on defense. Islanders shoot it right back in. Thomas stopping for Ron Greshner. Greshner over to Miller. Miller down to Ron Duque. Duque flips the puck into the far corner now. It's chased down by Eddie Johnstone. He's there with Stefan Pearson. It's worked free by Duque. Back it goes now to Miller in the slot. And it's dumped in behind the net. Stefan Pearson's got it. Pearson winds it around, looking for Gary Howitt that comes through to the red line for Greshner. 5:48 to go. And Lauren Henning just steals it away from Ron Duque. Gary Howitt at the red line, flips it over to Pearson. Ahead for Howitt, who scored earlier. Howitt and Dave Maloney crunch in the far corner. It comes through to Henning. He shoots. Stick save. Nice save by Wayne Thomas. And he holds on. There's a break in the action with a score. The Islanders 10, the Rangers 4. 10-4 Islanders face off to the left of Thomas. And the puck comes to Warren Miller, who comes in front of the Ranger net dangerously. Watched by Collar and Kazicki. Once again, the Rangers retreat to deeper territory. Greshner winds it around for Eddie Johnstone. One of the few bright spots tonight for the Rangers. Throws it into the right of Billy Smith. Smith stops now for Langevin. Langevin out for Kazicki. Decides to take it into the far corner. And up ahead for Collar. Collar at the red line. Flings it up on right wing. Vautour with a long shot. It's wide. Vicious drive that off the mark. Kazicki now. Kazicki comes around. Swings it out for Vautour. It's kept in by Langevin. And it's poked out of there by Johnstone. Langevin gets it back. And Vautour was still in the zone, so it's offside. Islanders with 4:51 to go in this third period. Islanders with a 6-goal lead. They'll be playing Detroit this Saturday night, and they won't see the Rangers again till December the 9th. So once again, that'll be a hot one at the Garden.
Oh, I can imagine a little revenge looking for with a 10-4 score here, and anything can still happen, not so much as to who's going to win, but what the score might be.
Well, the fans, Islander fans, are having a ball tonight, and they're giving the Ranger fans a little bit of a taste of their own medicine with all the yelling and shouting and screaming, and they are really whooping it up. From the face-off, play comes to the red line. And Josh Gabriel has it back in his own zone. Dennis Potvin. Boy, you can talk about all the great rivalries, the Yankees and the Dodgers, the Giants, the Jets. It goes on and on, but I don't think there's one more agonizing as far as the fans are concerned than the one between the two hockey teams in New York. Here's Walt Tkachuk up ahead for Anders Hedberg and across the line. And it's like one of those international soccer affairs you find in Europe or in well, wherever you go, really, when you see all those great soccer matches. Here's a steal by John Tonelli, the crowd chanting and singing, and there's a pass for Billy Harris back to Dennis Potvin, and it goes astray. Wayne Merrick whacks it around. Here's Jocelyn Gavremont. He sends it up ice for Steve Vickers, and Vickers slowing it down, throws it over to Walter Tkachuk, back to Vickers, and Vickers back to Tkachuk. Returns back in front, a beauty of a play. Hedberg scores! Anders Hedberg powers the puck in, and it's 10-5, cutting the lead in half.
Well, they should never allow themselves to fall into those kind of doldrums, Steve. Just kind of fooling around. Stevers, Vickers back to each other. Hedberg shoots the puck. Billy gets a piece of it, but actually in his attempt to try and corral the puck, he swiped at it with his glove. He dropped his stick, and I think he knocked it in himself. The puck was stopped by Billy in the first place, and as he tried falling and to corral the puck, he hit it with his stick glove and knocked it in the net. It's now 10-5.
Number 8 for Anders Hedberg at 16-17. And playing behind the Islander goal, Smith stopping it now for Lorimer. He is checked by Esposito. And the puck slithers free for Brian Trottier. On the far side for Bossy. Slips it ahead. Gillies in hot pursuit with Don Murdoch. It comes free for Marois. He clears the puck beyond the reach of Lewis, and it comes skidding down into the Islander zone. Back to Lewis. To the red line, it got under the stick of Trottier. And Barry Beck grabs hold for the Islanders. Rangers, rather. And he puts it on the stick of Don Maloney. Cross ice for Marois. Marois up ice to the red line for Esposito, and he dumps it in. Bob Lorimer back to get it. It was Hedberg from Tkachuk and Vickers at 16-17. Islanders shoot it back in. Barry Beck to get it. 2:49 to go. He feeds Marois, and back to Beck. Beck out of his own zone to the red line. Knocks it into the Islander zone, and he goes back to the bench. Eddie Johnstone hustling after it. Johnstone in the corner. Feeds it out to the point for Maloney. Back to Johnstone. He shoots. It's blocked by Pearson. And Pearson dumps it behind the goal for Langevin. And he clears it all the way down to the Ranger zone. It'll be icing as Dave Maloney will make the touch. And that is the call. There's a break in the action with the score. Islanders 10, Rangers 5. His 2 goals and 2 assists. Bossy has a goal and 2 assists. Gillies a couple of assists. Potvin has 2 goals and an assist. Pearson a goal and 2 assists. Anders Connor has 3 assists on the night. Here's Connor with the puck now. Connor spinning into the Ranger zone, and the puck is knocked away. Here's Gressner. Under 2 minutes to go. 10-5 Islanders. Ron Gressner now building up steam as he comes to the red line, and he flips it into the left of Smith. Gary Howard kicking the puck away from Ray Markham. Bill ahead in the corner now with Connor. Connor sandwiched by Markham and Lahead. Pearson is hit by Markham. The puck comes through now for Connor. He's behind the goal. A minute 35 to go in the game. And the Rangers, or rather the Islanders, are on their way to avoiding a 3-game losing streak. They hadn't lost 3 straight since 1976-77. And the Rangers en route to their 2nd straight defeat. Lost to the Penguins the other night. Here comes Eddie Johnstone on the near side of the red line. In across the blue line. He shoots it, and it's wide. Comes around now to Vickers, and it comes through to the red line. A minute 5 to go. Eddie Johnstone into the Islander zone. Trying to go into the slot for Tkachuk. It's broken up. Back to the point for Dave Maloney. Maloney has it knocked away by Vautour. We're into the final minute. Billy Harris to Kazicki to Vautour. It bounced right over his stick. And Bothwell fires it up to the red line for Tkachuk. Tkachuk trying to spin around John Potvin, taken out of the play. 40 seconds left. Here's Jocelyn Gavremont. Over to the red line now to Bothwell. Bothwell's feed for Hedberg. And it's taken away by Potvin. There was a whistle offside. 35 seconds to go in the game, and the Islanders on their way to some sweet revenge.
Certainly has to be a great boost for the Islanders' confidence. A game like this, the biggest game of the season in a sense for them. And after playing Atlanta and losing in Atlanta and playing Philadelphia at home and losing to them, two teams in their own division, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Islanders. And they've been responsible for the whole thing.
They have worked hard all night. They've been hitting. They've been very aggressive, and it is paying off. They lead 10-5 with 30 seconds to go. Here's Walter Tkachuk over to Anders Hedberg. Hedberg with a cross-ice feed from Bothwell. And he flips it in, comes in behind the goal. Jean Potvin is there. Steve Vickers collides with his teammate Anders Hedberg. Here's Ivan Vautour. Vautour to the red line with 12 seconds. Drops it for Henning. Overskates it, and Hedberg grabs hold. Here's the countdown. Steve Vickers takes it now in the Ranger zone. He'll just ride out the storm. 3 seconds to go. He flips it down. A bouncer will be on goal. Kicked away by Smith. The buzzer sounds. The game's over. That is it. After our recap, we remind you to stay with us for Stan Fischler and Bob Lawrence, the star of the game on the post-game show. The final score, the New York Islanders 10, the New York Rangers 5. Steve Albert and Eddie Westfall back here at the Nassau Coliseum, and the Islanders prevailing in convincing fashion over the Rangers as this wild rivalry continues. 10-5 the final score. They named Billy Harris the star, but you really can't put your finger on one guy as far as the Islanders are concerned.
Tonight's the kind of night that they're all stars, Steve. They all come out, they all hustled, they all played for each other. The kind of thing that is it's kind of a rejuvenation, and to pick it all up in one game is fantastic. They picked it up at the right time. They did just about everything right. Early in the game, in the first period, they were a little sloppy defensively, but then they tightened up and started to bring the puck out very well out of their own end. They passed the puck well tonight. They weren't aiming passes. They were playing with a little more instinct, and it all started to fall together, and they got stronger as the game went on.
The Islanders erupting for 6 straight goals in that second period to jump out to an 8-2 lead. Walter Tkachuk cut it to 8-3, 33 seconds into the third. Gary Hart with his second of the year made it 9-3 as Anders Kalor picked up his third assist at 9-17. Dennis Potvin with his fourth of the year and his second of the night from Gillies and Trottier at 12:07. 35 seconds later, Don Murdoch made it 10-4. And then at 16:17, Hedberg punched it past to Billy Smith to make the final 10-5. Islanders out shooting the Rangers 29-21, and there was only one penalty in that third period. So the Islanders, I don't know if you can call it a turning point or what. It's still very early in the season, but they've got to be very happy, especially after what happened to them in the playoffs. It was a long summer answering a lot of questions, and they finally, well, as far as they are concerned, got some revenge.
Well, there's no question that they're going to use that a little in their favor, a whole lot to be exact, but they need something like that to band together, something to make each other feel good about so that they can be in the dressing room congratulating each other, rubbing heads, patting bottoms, feeling very good about each other. They haven't been able to do that so far this season, and I know it certainly is a big help to Al Arbor. Having all that pressure released in one game is something that he can now fall back towards and relax a little bit and let the players play the game the way they know how without all the pressure from inside. One of the interesting sidelights of tonight's game was the fact that Barry Beck, the newly acquired Ranger from Colorado, he was on for 6 goals tonight, 4 of them while they were at even strength, 2 of them while the Islanders were on power plays. Didn't look very happy with himself, as Stotart didn't until he was pulled.
Well, it was a night that saw Doug Stotart pulled for Wayne Thomas. It was a tremendous night for guys like Brian Trottier, Mike Bossy, Clark Gillies, Dennis Potvin, Billy Harris. You can go on down the line. Wayne Merrick with a beautiful goal as well. The final was 10-5 in favor of the Islanders. We'll talk to you again on Saturday night at 8 o'clock when the Detroit Red Wings come to town. So for Eddie Westfall, once again, we remind you to stay tuned for the star of the game show. Steve Albert saying so long, everybody.